All right, I would like to call this Greenville County Council Special Call Committee of the Whole meeting to order. And we will begin with the invocation. And since Councilor McGahee, I believe he's with us, correct? He's just not present. Okay, I think he said he would be, so we'll see if he comes in. But until then, I'm going to ask if our Vice Chairman would give the invocation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let us pray. I thank you, O Lord, for this day, for the sunshine we've seen. Lord, we thank you for who you are. Thank you, Lord, for what you do for each one of us. Pray, Lord, that each of us would know who you are, that we would let others know. And, Lord, I thank you for the time we can come together, and I pray, Lord, that the applicants would be a good cheer, and, Lord, we would listen and take our notes, and, Lord, that we would make the votes you would have us to vote. Lord, we pray we'll put the people in that you want, and that you would lead and guide us in all things that we say and do. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. So welcome to our application process for our boards and commissions today, and we have a quite long list, so long we had to split it up into 2 days. So we're glad that you're here with us today, and we'll get started. Just so you know, you have a chance to come up, have 3 minutes to share with us whatever you'd like to share with us outside of what we had on the application. Just let us know what you would like us to know about your desire to have this seat that you're looking for. We'll get started with the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Commission. We have 6 vacancies, and we will start with, and I'm gonna mess up a bunch of names today, so just correct me, I won't mind at all, but Ian Ammons. Did I say it right?
Got it.
Awesome. I'm starting off a good note. Welcome.
I'll keep the record.
You can come right up there to the podium and give us your name and tell us what you'd like us to know.
Yes, sir. So I'm Ian Ammons. Been a Greenville resident since I was born at Greenville Memorial, and aside from a short stint near Charlotte, I've made Greenville my home. I love this county deeply. Had the opportunity to meet a couple of the current commission members of the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Committee a couple weeks ago, and aside from some personal connections to that service, it's something that I would really like to be able to spend my time to give back to and volunteer and really help that organization do what they need to do for the betterment of our community. So I've got the time. I have the willingness to serve our county, and would very much like to be considered and serve this county on this board. I'll give my time up for that.
Thank
Yep.
you, Mr. Ammons.
Yep, thank you.
Any
Any
questions? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, next up, we have Patricia Edwards. How you doing? Good.
Good evening. My name is Patricia Edwards, and I am a lifelong resident of Greenville County. My relationship with the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Commission goes back to 1976. I actually was employed there in 76 and left, went away and got my master's and came back and was rehired in 81 and worked there until 1999. And during that time, was able to develop a number of programs that we're very proud that are still in existence. I've got a long relationship with the employees there. 2 of the programs that are still standing is Serenity Place, as well as the 13th Circuit Judicial Drug Court. As a matter of fact, I retired from that program, the Solicitor's Office Drug Court, in 2019. Ran the program for those years. And I have a tendency to come back because I went back and worked there for 2 more years. So I have a love for serving. I love to serve people. And that's my passion. And I do have time because I am retired, and I am willing because I understand the necessity of treating people with who suffers from the disease of addiction, and want to be on the front end to get ahead of that, to prevent this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, next up we have Mr. Christopher Griffin. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for your time today. My name is Christopher Griffin, and I'm here to seek a position on the Committee for the Drug and Alcohol Abuse Committee. I'm originally from Flint, Michigan, unlike probably a lot of the others up here today. And if you know anything about Flint, and have heard it in the news in the last decade or so, it's had a number of issues. It's been a very disenfranchised city, and so that's the area I'm from. And when I first came to Greenville, South Carolina, when I was 18 for an internship in college, I just absolutely fell in love with downtown. This was back in 2008. That feeling, that shock and awe of seeing a city like Greenville coming from Flint was just amazing. And so I felt that this was going to be my home, and I made sure it was. That was 2008, so this is 13 years later. In 2014, I myself decided to get sober. I had a number of issues with substance abuse, and I sought every avenue of treatment I could at the time. I went into outpatient treatment. I've been in sober living. I've worked within sober living. I've done the 12-step group work. I've been involved in a number of different recovery groups throughout the community. The biggest one I would say is SMART Recovery. It is an evidence-based approach to treatment, and I was a champion of that program back in 2017, 18, a couple years before COVID. My first meeting had 4 attendees. By the end of it, we had 2 to 3 meetings a week with 40 people at each meeting. So I think that shows that I'm able to bring something that attracts people, inspires people, and also encourages them to continue moving forward. I have quite a bit of free time in my life right now. My wife and I may or may not be able to have children, and so we're seeking sort of other avenues of fulfillment and giving back to the community. This community that I love is very important to me at this point in time, and so I'm looking forward to an opportunity to continue to serve the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. All right, next up, we have Ernie Hamilton. How you doing, sir?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Ernie Hamilton, and as you can see I've been involved with the Phoenix Center for almost 20 years. The center, almost as long as it's been active as a function in Greenville County. You know, it's got almost a 50-year history, giving service to the people. On my application, I mentioned that I have a vested interest in the Phoenix Center, and that I've seen it develop over the years, and one of the questions was, what benefit, what assets could you bring to the commission, to the Alcohol Drug Commission? Well, I'm not going to be a revenue drain on the commission, because it's a voluntary organization, but I've seen in my working on the commission the training of the counselors and the staff at the Phoenix Center, that they develop an expertise in their field, working with people and helping them with addiction, their drug problems, and then they develop this unique skill, and then they move on to another agency doing the same thing for more money. So I said that to say this, that there's a learning curve when you appoint another commissioner. You can say, well, you've been around, but I've seen over the time that there's a learning curve, that my asset, I would be a continued asset to continue on if you reappoint me. We've served over 5,000 people during the COVID, during that time when people really needed help, stress of life and the situation they were in. So we were open when a lot of people shut down. I've seen an increase in prevention services from 10,000 participants to each year to 20,000 participants of service from the commission. The overdose use, our staff is involved with the fire department, the EMS, Greenville County EMS, and the city departments that go out to emergency situation, overdose, and they do this follow-up, and we do that. We talk about the importance of service. We even got a future goal of expanding. I'm over.
Just hit it. You can finish your sentence. Go ahead.
We do have a future goal of expanding the service into the rural communities of Marietta, Tigerville, Blue Ridge, and Slater. So there's still work to be done. And as a person that has served for many years, I think I could continue on with that endeavor.
Thank you very much.
I ask you for your vote, please.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have Ms. Beth Messick. Hello.
Hey, y'all. I'm a Greenville girl, born and raised, went to Furman University, spent my whole life here. The bulk of my career has been in nonprofit service. I spent a significant amount of time on the streets of Greenville back in 2015, working with human trafficking survivors, women caught in a cycle of trafficking, prostitution, and addiction. I was able to get professional visitation privileges with Greenville County Detention Center, started going in there, working with women in the jail, helping them find safe places to go, work closely with probation, pardon, and parole, finding safe places for women. I continued with that as the founding executive director of Jasmine Road, which is South Carolina's first long-term residential treatment program for women that survived trafficking, prostitution, and addiction. Worked closely with the Phoenix Center during that time, setting up protocols and procedures for the ladies coming into our program at Jasmine Road, and also working with intensive outpatient. Our ladies went to Phoenix Center, intensive outpatient. I've worked with hundreds of women that have been involved in trafficking and prostitution. 99.9% of those women have an issue with addiction, and addiction recovery is a huge part of their stories. So I'm super excited to be considered for this position. I have a personal interest because through the years of the women that I've worked with, I have seen women that 8 women that I know that died of either drug overdose or a gunshot wound because of drug deal gone bad. And so feel really passionate. I know that this issue is a life and death issue for many citizens facing Greenville County. Also have friends whose children have died of substance use disorder as well. So know the gravity of it in our community. And so I'm super supportive of the Phoenix Center and of Becky Maddox and the work that she has been doing, and really want to applaud. As I sat through the board meeting, I retired. When I worked at Jasmine Road, we founded Jasmine Road in 2016. We opened our first residential home in 2018, and in 2020, we opened Jasmine Kitchen, which is a social enterprise restaurant that supports the organization. 2022, we opened our second residential home, and then I retired in 2023. And since that time, I am now working with an organization called Mission Increase, and I have over 150 nonprofit accounts in the upstate, and I'm working to deliver best practice services around the areas of fundraising, board development, and capacity building for organizations. So excited to bring that level of experience as well to the Phoenix Center.
Thank you, Ms. Messick.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Any questions?
That Jasmine Kitchen is delicious.
Isn't it? Yes, it is. I agree. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll move to the next one, which is Mr. John Redmond. Welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm J.D. Redmond, born in Greenville, live in Taylors, and have a wonderful wife and 3 fun kids. 2 of them are in middle school, and 1 of them is in elementary school. And we attend North Hills Church in Taylors, and we're part of that ministry. A part of that's kind of my family. That's my background of being here and why. I went to school for criminal justice, had a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and I worked at the Greenville County Sheriff's Office for 19 years until, shocking to me, I was a driving instructor, and ITIC, which is a part of SC TAC, needed somebody to run their automotive test track, and my wife was very eager for me to transition to a different role. But what I've learned is since leaving almost 3 years ago, your background and what you went to school with and what you were a part of for a long time, that doesn't leave. My phone rings weekly with people asking for advice, and I try to put them in the right positions. And I found myself a lot of times actually plugging them in with things with the Phoenix Center or other programs in Greenville County. And I learned that there were some openings here, and I was shocked. And then I saw there was one that had rolled for quite some time. And I prayed about it. We thought about it. This works great with my work schedule, and it's an opportunity for me to be back involved with the Phoenix Center. When I was a little kid, I was an Explorer Scout with the Sheriff's Office, so I actually watched the people go in and make the underage drinking buys. And then we went into the clubs, and we had underage kids actually serving alcohol in the bars that we were closing down. We put the goggles on the kids on the golf cart. So the prevention things I know so much about. And then since then, I've taken people to detox. I've sent them to the treatment areas. So I know so much about those things. And then on a real personal level, when my middle schooler, who's 13 and goes to school in Northern Greenville, comes home and tells me about drugs and alcohol at Blue Ridge, I'm like, anything that I can do as a father with my previous experience to help out, I would like to. And I appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
One final for this one, which is Mr. Herman Roberts Jr.
Good afternoon, y'all. My name's Herman Roberts, and I was born in Texas, but I was raised in Greenville, South Carolina, so I can get that out of the way. I've been on the Alcohol and Drug Commission since 2017. And the bottom line is, one thing I like to say about being on the commission, in almost 9 years, I have never missed the commission meetings. And that's real important because I've been on the commission long enough to see it's supposed to be 12 commissioners. We haven't had 12 commissioners in a long, long time. And the reason why I stay, I'm committed. And the thing is, the Phoenix Center has given me the opportunity to expand my recovery. See, my sobriety date was July the 28th, 1985, and by the grace of God, I have not found it necessary to take a drink, anything, move to mind, or so those people that the Phoenix Center serve are people just like me. The Phoenix Center afforded me a lot of opportunities in 2023, 2024. I was the chairperson for the Alcohol and Drug Commission, and the present 2025, I am the vice chair for the Alcohol and Drug Commission. One of the things is we can sit there and talk about numbers, and 80% of the clients that go to the Phoenix Center after being discharged, it's an 80% reduction in alcohol and drug use. That's going to the facilities. One of the things that make me unique being on the commission, they have clients. They have classroom atmosphere, and the thing is, it affords me the opportunity to go out and get people out of the recovery community to come to the Phoenix Center and share their experience, strength, and hope. Also in recovery, I'm involved in the recovery community, and there's a place called Upstate Intergroup, and the thing is, they're responsible for bringing speakers in at the withdrawal, I call it detox. And that's real important. If you never suffer from disease, you might never know who I am. But the thing is, when I sit there and I talk to the clients or patients that I meet, see, I've worn those shoes. And the thing is, I feel what they feel. But the bottom line is also, when I don't drink or use, what I do for them, most important, is I give them hope. And all I want them to do is to be like me, a productive member of society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so that concludes our Alcohol and Drug Abuse Commission interviews, and I believe we will have the ballots for those, and what we'll probably do, just since we have so many people, be respectful of your time, is we'll let her get those passed out, and then we'll begin the next group, because as we're working on those as well. Give us just a second. You can't understand it anyway. All right. We'll go ahead and continue forward with the interviews, and we'll move on to the Arena District. We have 3 vacancies, and we'll start with our first applicant, which is Kelly Bain. All right. We'll move on to the next, which will be Heather Curry. All right. And to the next, which is Mr. Clifton Dyer. I recognized the hair before you ever stood up.
Sorry.
Welcome. Nothing to be sorry about. I wish I could have it.
I never had it until COVID. COVID caused this, I tell everybody. My barber closed, for a while. I'm Clifton Dyer, but I go by Buddy, and anybody's welcome to call me Buddy if you'd like to. Been in the Greenville area. It's hard to describe because I started working for Daniel in '81, but I traveled so much I don't think I can claim all that as living here. But I've been here solid now for almost 40 years. My background is in industrial and commercial maintenance and construction and some engineering, as I worked for Fluor for 18 years, then Jacobs for 10 years. Being on the board has been very interesting. We've had some tough times in the early years. I was on the board. I mean, other people can tell you the same thing. But we overcame all that and came out really good. When I was chairman is when we made a change to appoint Beth as our general manager. And she's done a terrific job. Nobody can deny that. And I think she'll continue doing a great job for everybody. We did a remodel back in that time period also, something like $14 million. We got support from county council. I mean, many of you weren't here at that time, but we do appreciate that. And we've always gotten pretty good support out of you guys. And so as many of you know, we have some big plans coming up to make some improvements. And that ties into why I think I should stay on the board. We've already been involved, the board has, in 1 year in going through studies, many meetings, looking at prints, discussing things with the design firms. And obviously, it's going to be a 2 to 3 year deal, according on what we can raise in money. And then I just feel like, the people on the board currently probably need to stay on and follow that through the best they can. So obviously, I would appreciate your support, and we can go forward from there. Have any questions?
Any questions?
And by the way, Rick, I think I'm the only board member on the South County. I live on 418. So,
We're not far apart.
I don't have a question for you, but I just want to say thanks for appointing Beth. She's a rock star. So
she was. I mean, it was interesting that at the time our general manager, being from a pretty big business background and turnover, I went to him at the time. I said, "What's your succession plan?" And he said, "Well, Beth is probably it," because she was the finance manager at the time, and it was already helping book acts and stuff like that. So it was a good fit, and she stepped in the job and zoomed with it, so to speak.
I'm a big fan. So
yeah. All right.
Thank you very much.
Any other? Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Next, we have Mr. Barry Formanak. How you doing?
Great. Thank you.
Did I get that one right? I'm shooting
Yes,
100.
perfect.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Barry Formanak, and thank you for your time. I've had the privilege of serving on the Arena District Board since 2007. And for the past several years, served as also the chair of the Finance Committee and also as treasurer. And it's kind of interesting how I got onto the board. It goes back to Dr. Taylor, who was a faithful council member for so many years. And I was talking to him and said, hey, how can I serve the community of Greenville? I love it. I want to give back to it. Well, little did I know, he'd say, hey, you're a CPA with your finance and accounting background. Would you serve on the Greenville Arena District? So I said, sure. Well, I didn't realize the financial challenges we would have those first few years. But I was so proud of the board, to be honest with you. We made some very tough decisions, such as Buddy mentioned, hiring Beth Paul to come on to run the arena. And then we also made a tough decision to bring the arena operations in-house rather than using a third-party management company. But what I'm kind of most proud of is the clean audit reports that we get year after year from the CPA firm of Green, Finney, and Cawley. And it's outstanding that we get that unqualified opinion, but there's no significant management comments or issues that need to be addressed. And to me, that speaks volumes to get that year after year. In my view of the arena is it's an investment, not only in the city of Greenville, the county of Greenville, but the upstate of South Carolina. And the impact that we have is tremendous. And as a board, my view, and I know I speak for the rest of the board, is we have to be wise financial stewards and to keep that investment moving forward and doing what we can. And again, the board has been so engaged, so active. And I actually asked the board, hey, would you like me to serve another term or would you like someone else? And they unanimously came back and said, listen, with your experience and background, would you be willing to serve another term? So I gratefully said yes, and it's been such a privilege, and I would like to serve another 3 years if you all would allow me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll move to the next, which is Mark Parrott. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I think this is going to turn into a Beth Love Fest because that's the whole reason that I wanted to apply to this commission. Actually, this is the 4th time I've applied to this commission. I'm a graduate of Leadership Greenville and Leadership Greer, and one of the things they charge you with when you finish is how are you going to give back? What are you going to do? And so since then, I've been on the board of the Upcountry History Museum for the past 9 years. Mandatory roll-off is this year. And I know myself, if I don't fill my time, if I don't give back, that time will just turn into a year, 2 years, 3 years, and it's just easy to not volunteer if you're not volunteering consistently. So I'm on right now as treasurer for the Roper Mountain Science Center Association, serving a 3-year term, and this still fits in perfectly to kind of bridge that gap from what I've been doing at the museum. I am a banker by trade. I've been in Greenville County my whole life. Started my career at BB&T, about 2 or 3 years at TD Bank. I've been at PNC for the past 8 years. So I've spent my whole career downtown Greenville, lived my whole life in Greenville County, and I've seen Greenville develop and grow and become the city that it is. This is one of the few boards and commissions that you can live outside city limits and still become part of the commission and serve. So this has been attractive to me from the very get-go. I think what I've learned through helping steer the museum through COVID and running the museum with locked doors could help with anything else we try to do in the city when it comes to Arena District or the Airport District, anything else like that. And the Roper Mountain Science Center is just a nice tie-in for everything I've kind of been committed to doing for the past 9 years, and look forward to serving if I'm selected. So I appreciate the time and to be able to make an introduction along with the application. Thank you.
Thank you very
Any
much.
questions? Thank you.
Just, I did have one.
Yes.
Did you just say that you had applied for this? This is the 4th time?
4th time.
Okay.
Yes.
That's significant. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate
Thank you very much. All right, next up, we have Mr. Dante Russo.
Just be clear, no relation relation to Joey. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I've actually never met Joey. Yes, for sure. But it's nice to finally put a face to the name. So I'm Dante Russo. Again, no relation to Joey. I'm actually in Kurt's district, and I know Kurt. I spoke with him. He's actually out of town, so good for him. But appreciate the opportunity to be here, guys. I know a lot of you I've met personally, arena tours, so it was nice to get to know you. Some of you I've known you for quite some time. But originally from Pittsburgh, moved here in 2006, got real involved with Greenville. Actually, I've served several terms on this board. Prior past chairman, like Buddy, current vice chairman of the arena board. The history of the board, it goes back a long time, but since I've been on it several terms, we've done a lot of great things. I know some of the tenured council members here can tell you that the district wasn't always in good financial shape, and we made a lot of tough decisions over the years. Certainly Beth being one of them, huge fan of Beth as well, was always an advocate for her from day one. So glad that you speak highly of her, Frank. So you may wonder why I would want another 3 years on the board. Well, quite frankly, I enjoy it. We got a lot of things. We put a lot of work in. I know many of you have seen that we've met with you personally in one aspect or another, and what's to come on Thursday, with the announcement. There's been a lot of hours put in over the last year with focus groups and meeting with community leaders and whatnot, but there's a lot on our plate. I'd love the opportunity to continue to see those projects that are going to enhance not only the building but the county as a whole. So for me, I think my commitment to the board shows. If you go back, I too, like this gentleman behind me, have never missed a meeting in all the years that I've served on the board. And again, I think that speaks to the seriousness that I take that, being appointed, that you got to show up and you actually got to put the work in. So that's really all I got. I would love your support for another 3 years, and I'll save my time if you guys have any questions for me.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it. All right, and last of this group, we have Mr. Ty Thornhill. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I
I'm
used
sorry.
Ty since it was in parentheses, so I figured that was the right one.
Ty.
Gotcha.
It's confusing for the TSA really bad. I'm sorry I look like this. I'm literally moving today. And my coat is, I think, in a truck somewhere going from Woodruff Road to San Souci. So who knows where it'll be. This is all I could find. So here we are. I appreciate the time. I love the district. Some of you may know, I don't know if you read my piece that I sent in, but I was the chairman of the district for 2 terms. I served on it for 12 years in the early 2000s. And ironically, this has nothing to do with my ability to do it, but my dad was the chairman of the arena district, or he wasn't chairman, he was on the arena district for, I guess, 8 years, back at when they built it, they built the building. So he kind of bridged the gap between the big box and the building. I think the arena district is a kind of cool and neat idea in that it provides an ability to basically fund a opportunity for people to go, enjoy their lives in Greenville. It creates a thing that brings us all together. And it's hard to go after the Phoenix Center folks because they're like saving people's lives, and we're talking about building a place to go have concerts. But it is more than that, and it's a quality of life thing. And I think we have to take that very seriously when we think about it. I think we also have to take the fact that it is sort of a partnership between council and the arena district that is the backstop that could potentially, and I know we're in better shape now than we were a long time ago with the deal that we had when I came on the district, but we were in a position to potentially affect the county's credit rating at one point, which would have been significant, and that would have probably had a kind of a domino effect. And I think, I'm a guy that understands that, and Barry and Buddy and I and a few of those guys literally had to go up to talk to our bankers and stare them down and say, what are you going to do? And we played the standoff, and we got what we needed to get done. So I want to sort of impress upon you, I love being on it. I did it for 12 years. I took a decade off, and I enjoy this work. So if you consider me, that would be great. And if not, I love these guys that are here. There's not a bad one in the bunch. So thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
All right, I'm going to go
Appreciate
haul some furniture.
All right. we have our ballots, so we'll mark those. And before we move on, just to respect, again, everybody's time, and I know some people came in from moving and from work, so time's precious. So I'm going to go ahead and make the announcement for the nominees or the winners for the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Commission. And these were all very close, but our 6 that were selected were Mr. Herman Roberts Jr., Mr. John Redmond, Ms. Beth Messick, Mr. Ernie Hamilton, Mr. Christopher Griffin, and Mrs. Patricia Edwards. So thank you very much for everybody for applying and for everybody that was nominated.
Mr. Chairman, may we be a student?
Yes, sir, absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you for being polite enough to ask. There you go. All right. We'll move along to item C, which is the Boiling Springs Fire District. There are 2 vacancies. We'll begin with Mr. Cedric Brown. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chairman and council members. I'm going to stick to the script so I don't wander past 3 minutes, as I'm known to do, is to get a little long in the mouth. My name is Cedric Brown, and I'm here to seek reappointment to the Boiling Springs Fire District Commission. I've had the privilege of not only living in the district since 1988, but I've also been a benefactor of their services with my own wife, some family members, and a small little house fire we had after a lightning strike. I've served in this district for over 12 years now as a as a commissioner. Prior to that, I was 10 years as a volunteer firefighter with the district. I really love the fire service. It's a unique entity, and I like bringing, I think what my skill set is, bring that to their board meetings. I've got a deep appreciation for operational needs of the department and strategic responsibilities that we hold as commissioners. Professionally, I work for Prisma Health, as you can tell. I've been there for 18 years. I am a director of operations for them for their ambulatory practices, so I have oversight of medicine specialty and also of the psychiatric department. So I have a kind of a bent towards trying to serve people and serve them well the best I can. I'm also familiar with limited resources, and so that is part of our, world we live in nowadays, not only in healthcare but also in the fire service. And so we take a long, hard look at our expenses and our budgets to make sure that they're in line with everything that we have available to us. As you know, Boiling Springs is an ISO Class 1 department. We are one of the best in the nation, if not in the state, and that distinction reflects our dedication of our leadership and the other fellow board members, because I can't do it all on my own by any means. And so I am here to, again, seek reappointment. I'm looking forward to possibly serving another 4-year term, and I ask for your consideration. And thank you. And I have any questions, I'll be glad to do it.
I'll ask a question just because I'm curious, but you said that the fire service served you from a house fire. Is that what made you want to get involved?
No,
or did
sir.
it happen after?
The gentleman that did it is sitting back here, a guy named Bill Flack.
Mm-hmm.
He, I guess, recruited me, and then I got to meet some of the other people. And I was at a point in my life I was looking forward to doing something, to the community. And I thought, I could do that. And so I became a firefighter. And I've enjoyed it. I wish I could still pull hose and run off and jump off the truck, but my back and my neck and my, just being old kind of limits that. But that's how I got into it. It was just a desire to serve.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. And then the last one in this group is Mr. Stephen Knapp. There's a K in this one. You almost threw me off.
There's a K. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephen Knapp. I go by Steve. I am applying to be a commissioner on the Boiling Springs Fire District. My wife and I'm not a native of the area, but I've been here for 41 years, plus or minus a couple years for some professional relocations. But I consider Greenville my adopted home city in Greenville County. My kids have been raised here, and they're adults now, and my grandkids are being raised here. So I've gotten to know the commissioners, some of the commissioners, and as well as the personnel at the Boiling Springs Fire District. And when I became aware of an opening, I think it's a good opportunity for me to serve the community. I've got a background in accounting and finance. I'm a senior director for a manufacturing company in finance, and so I think my skills, I'm a CPA, I think my skills can be, benefit to the board, to the community from a governance standpoint, from a strategy standpoint, capital decisions that need to be made, those types of things. So, again, I'm eager to serve, and I'd appreciate your considering me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Any questions at all? Questions? I think we're good. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, with this being 2 applicants and 2 vacancies, a motion for by acclamation would be sufficient.
Okay.
Make a motion that we elect both applicants by acclamation.
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations. You got named before I named the other group, and I'm getting ready to name now. So. All right, before we move on, I'll go ahead and make an announcement for the Arena District Commission. We have our 3 choices, which is Mr. Clifton Dyer, Mr. Barry Formanak, and Mr. Dante Russo. So congratulations to everybody that was selected, and thank you to everybody who applied, and hopefully we can find a space for you at some point in time soon if you didn't make this one. All right, we'll move on to item D, which is Construction Board of Appeals. We have 3 vacancies, so I don't want to make you nervous, but we have 1 applicant, Mr. Stephen Jones. I guess he can't be nervous if he's not here. All right.
Make a motion that we reappoint Mr. Jones to the Construction Board of Appeals.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations.
Mr. Chairman, can I, so on this board right now, we still have 2 vacancies, and it looks like they've been open for a while. Wondering if we might reopen this one. It looks like we need a general contractor and an architect position on here, and
Is this just something that for whatever reason we've never had somebody in those areas apply, or?
Mr. Chairman, it's because it is qualifiers, and yes, it limits the applicants.
Yeah, I like the fact that we are filling up our boards with applicants, so if there's a way for us to possibly take the time to look, if council would be so moved, I'd like to look at possibly extending that to find some additional people.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we keep the pool open at least for 1 month to try to get more applicants.
Okay. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. All right, move on to our next one, which is one of our bigger groups for the evening, which is the Greenville Area Development Corporation. We have 5 vacancies, and we'll begin with Spencer Brownell.
Brownell, yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Nice to be here today. Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself to you today. My name is Spencer Brownell, and I'm honored to be before you today to express my enthusiasm as serving as a volunteer on the Greenville Area Development Corporation. I prepared this introduction to ensure that I stay within 3-minute time limit. I'm usually a bit more extemporaneous in this and, tend to carry on. So I believe in Greenville's potential to thrive as a hub of opportunity, innovation, and community strength. The GADC's mission to drive economic development through job creation and investment resonates deeply with me. As a proud resident of the city of Greenville, I've seen firsthand how strategic growth can transform lives while preserving the unique character of our city and our county. I'm passionate about being able to contribute to that vision. My qualifications align with the JADC's goals, with decades of business development experience, working within the new product incubators of Fortune 50 companies, as well as high-tech startups. I bring skills such as strategic planning, stakeholder engagement, and market analysis. For example, as a business development leader at Avenir Health, a startup founded by some of the largest healthcare companies in the United States, such as Cleveland Clinic, Elevance, and CVS Health Aetna, I developed and executed our national and regional sales strategies. These experiences required working with multiple groups and constituencies within Avenir, with our board of directors, and with our founding companies. What sets me apart is my commitment to inclusive progress. I believe economic growth should uplift every corner of Greenville County, ensuring opportunities for small businesses, diverse communities, and future generations. It's also paramount to develop these strategies with alignment to our ultimate stakeholders, which are the residents and voters of Greenville counties. For instance, we all know that a major concern for the electorate is strained infrastructure, especially our roads. Impact to our infrastructure should be a critical consideration for all of GDC's efforts. As a volunteer, I'd approach this role with dedication, listening to stakeholders and advocating for balanced, forward-thinking strategies. Joining the GADC would allow me to serve a cause I deeply care about. I'm eager to bring my energy, expertise, and collaborative spirit to support your efforts in making Greenville a place where businesses flourish and communities thrive. Thank you for considering me. I'll be honored to contribute to our shared goal of a thriving and vibrant Greenville County.
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much. Thank you. All right, next we have Mr. James Charles. Welcome.
Hello, members of council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is James J.R. Charles. I'm honored to be considered for the position. I bring 16 years of experience in economic development and community development. Currently, I serve as the customer success manager for Size Up, which is a software as a service company that empowers small businesses and those economic development organizations that employ us through data-driven benchmarking tools. Prior to my current role, I served as the Director of Community Development in the City of Malden, where I oversaw business attraction, retention, and support, as well as cultural affairs and special initiatives. During my time there, I was involved in the Bridgeway Station development and the redevelopment of City Center Village, and I even had the pleasure of working directly with GADC with an industrial expansion project. That deepened my appreciation for GADC's mission. My broader economic development career includes leadership roles in Georgia. Served as the Vice President of Economic Development for Carroll Tomorrow, Director of Economic Development for Oconee County, Georgia, Executive Director for the Habersham County Development Authority. And in these positions, I helped recruit over $200 million of investment, representing about 850 jobs, and led major initiatives like industrial park development, strategic marketing campaigns, and workforce training collaborations. Since moving to Greenville about 3.5 years ago, I've been actively involved in the community. I serve on the Greater Malden Chamber of Commerce Board, the Greenville chapter of Contractors, Closers, and Connectors. I graduate from Leadership Golden Strip, and I volunteer at my church at Advent United Methodist. And I am passionate about the region's continued growth and the role that GADC can play in advancing equitable, high-impact development. I've attended a board meeting, so that's one difference between my application, so you can check that off there. And I'm passionate about the development of industrial assets and that can be marketed for high-value investment. I understand that GADC is trying to attract corporate headquarters. I can appreciate that, having spent my time in that arena as well. What sets me apart is the ability to bridge the gap between strategy and execution. I understand the policy-making responsibilities of a board member, but I also bring deep, firsthand experience from the field. Experience working with local governments, chambers of commerce, utility providers, and educational partners. I've sat on all sides of the table as a project manager, negotiator, department head, and now someone who supports economic development with clients across the country. This unique combination of experience makes me more than just a qualified candidate, and I don't have a learning curve that I need to overcome. I can step in on day one with an understanding of the economic landscape, the relationships with the cities, and help deliver experienced results to both rural and urban sides of the county. I'm not just aligned with GADC's mission. I've already helped advance it by working with the city and with the community and the organizations. And so I believe that my insights and my experience would be a positive contribution to the board. Thank you for your time. Welcome my opportunity to serve, and I welcome any questions you may have.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much. Next, we have Mr. Brett Cutshall. All right. We will move on to Joshua Handler. Welcome.
Good afternoon. My name is Jay Handler. I am here and excited to be here in front of all of you. Some of you I've met before, and I'm not sure that everybody's going to remember this way back when, but Mr. Fant, you and I worked together a little bit way back when I came to town working with 107.3 Jams, Hot 98.1, and you were at all kinds of events with us, and always appreciated you. Thank you for that and for your support. And of course, Councilwoman Seaman, I'm not even going to talk about goodwill and the ways that we're working together. And obviously, you can tell from my appearance that I am the twin brother of Joey Russo. So, no, close. So, I came here in 2006. I was brought here for work. Obviously, I was brought here by Cox Radio as the new 107.3 Jams, Hot 98.1 senior account manager and automotive marketing specialist. I was there about 2 years. The economy tanked, and it was time to pivot. I started my own business. I've started 3 businesses here in the Greenville area, and over the last couple of years, I've realized that there's a whole lot more going on in Greenville than there is going on in a lot of other communities. And I love that about this community. I love how much we're able to do here. And I'll tell you just a very quick story. When I first moved here, I'd been here for about 3 days, and I got an email from a friend of mine back home in Illinois who said, hey, you got to see this. And it was a Good Morning America expose. It was talking about a tale of 2 cities, and it was comparing and contrasting my old hometown of Rockford, Illinois, and my new hometown of Greenville, South Carolina. And it talked about how in both cities, major, huge economic impact when the main, goodness gracious, the main industry, there we go, went away. Here, textiles, there, automotive. One, I'll let you figure out which one. One had a plan. One said, we're going to tighten our belts and stick our heads in the sand. One today is a virtual ghost town. One transitioned into a knowledge-based economy, which is what we've got here in Greenville and what I'm so excited to be able to serve. Speaking of serving, I am a veteran. I was homeless. I've seen what city and county and community resources can deliver, and I want to help the next person be able to do the same. I want to help somebody who's struggling today get to where they're going. It's why I work at Goodwill. It's why I've done virtually everything I've done in my business. I've worked in economic development in South Africa. I was hired by the British government to work in economic development in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and the UAE. I've done it all over the United States, and it's time that I got to do it here. And I sure hope I get your vote.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions? Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Mr. Trent Larkins. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Greenville County Council. My name is Trent Larkins, and I'm honored to be here discussing the open board seat at GADC. As a Greenville entrepreneur and 25-year resident, I am passionate about advancing our county's economy and supporting GADC's mission to create jobs and improve our standard of living. For the last 13 years, I have been on the founding level of 3 startups started right here in Greenville County, and including the last 3.5 years, starting my own business and growing it right here. This community has given me this foundation to success, starting my own business with a strong economy and a culture that supports hard work. Starting businesses here in Greenville has shown me what it takes to create jobs and drive growth, and I'm eager to help others seize those same opportunities. My experience gives me a clear view of what companies need to thrive here. Beyond business, I've worked on congressional and local campaigns right here in Greenville, meeting many of Greenville's citizens and hearing firsthand their economic concerns and comments. From worries about economic diversification to hopes for better opportunities, I understand what our community values. This perspective would guide my work on the GADC board, ensuring our efforts reflect the needs of our people. I'd focus on attracting companies that bring high-paying, long-term jobs using smart incentives that deliver real results, more investment, and more prosperity for our residents. On a personal note, my wife and I plan to raise our family right here in Greenville. It's our home. I want my kids to have the same shot at success I've had or even better. That means keeping our county a place where businesses grow and opportunities expand. Thank you for considering me. I'm ready to bring my experience, community insight, and drive to GADC, helping build a stronger future for Greenville. I look forward to the chance to serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Appreciate it.
All right, cool.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Next up, we have John T. Long III. He's got my haircut.
Yes, good afternoon. In fact, I was looking forward to talking to the gentleman about his hair. My name is John Long. I'm a veteran, and I live in downtown Greenville. My career spans two occupations. Banking was my first one. Right out of college, I joined the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond, and then I joined banks in both California and Maryland. While doing that, I was real involved in the community, doing a lot of activities, and that sort of captured me. So I decided to flip my avocation into a vocation and became real involved in associations. So I was fortunate to be recruited and hired by 4 different chambers in 4 different states. And our really goals in each one of those chambers was economic development, community development, and business development. And during that time, I also joined the 4 county economic development organizations. So I'm very familiar with the activities. During COVID, my wife and I lived in Alexandria, and we began to understand that we could work remotely. And we really wanted to get out from being inside the Washington, D.C. Beltway. So we started to look around the country. We formed a checklist. We looked at 20 cities, visited 8, and in those communities, we really got excited about one and knew that Greenville County was going to be our really forever home. So 3 years ago, I moved to Greenville County, and I immediately got involved in the Chamber's Opportunity Greenville program, then joined the Citizens Fire Academy, graduated from that, and the Green Link Citizens Academy, graduated from that, and then had the Chamber of Commerce fortunately appoint me to the Public Policy Committee, where I had a chance to talk to a lot of elected officials, many of you. And I was also appointed to the Board of Advisors of the Chamber. And just earlier this year, the county appointed me to the 2025 Greenville County Citizens Academy, which I'm very, very excited to be involved with. With that experience, I wish to say that I understand the commission and elected officials' challenges and believe I have a perfect blend of professional and volunteer experience to assist GADC and its commission and professional staff in their efforts to support new business ventures and advocate for responsible development. I'm very excited about this, and I would really appreciate your comments and your support. Any questions?
Questions? Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Mr. William Moon. All right. Move on to the next, Mr. Timothy Morgan. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Good to see y'all. Beautiful day. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited for this opportunity. I love Greenville County, as do all of you. I've lived in Greenville County for 20 years. All of my children live in Greenville County. All of my grandchildren live in Greenville County, and I have 7 of those. My sister, my mother-in-law, I have a lot vested in this county. My background, I'm old. I've been in business for a long time. Business is my hobby. I've been currently the CEO of 3 marketing companies. Prior to that, I've been a CIO of a $1 billion company, so I've been in Fortune 500, Fortune 100, and I've started several businesses along the way. So I love business. I understand the purpose of GADC. I love our county. I think appropriate growth is needed. I think we do need to be out recruiting the best of the best corporate, basically the corporations, the manufacturing business. Our president is making manufacturing a key, and I think GADC is really incredibly important to that for our area. I understand the purpose of this board is to serve at your pleasure. The purpose of this board is for the council to set the direction and the board to help implement that direction through all the people that work there. And my goal is to do that. I've served on numerous boards, so I understand how a board functions. And as I said, there's every goal is to improve the quality of life in Greenville County. And as I think Trent said earlier, I want to make sure that we can pass that same quality of life onto our children. We lose as many jobs every year in Greenville. People don't understand that. Greenville County loses a lot of jobs every year. GADC is critical to making sure we backfill those jobs with great corporations, high-paying jobs. And I think that's an important role of this function also. So with that, I ask for your votes and appreciate all that you do for us. And do you have any questions?
Anybody?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will move right along to Mr. Benjamin Murray. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Good.
Well, good afternoon, members of County Council, and thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. I think it's really important that you guys hear from the candidates themselves, and I appreciate you guys, willingness to do that. My name is Benjamin Murray. I go by Ben. I was born and raised in the upstate of South Carolina. I'm currently a corporate and economic development attorney at the Weiss Law Firm in Greenville, South Carolina. So a little bit about me, and sort of I can tie that into why I'm applying for this position. I went to the University of South Carolina in Columbia, and I hope this doesn't get me in trouble, but go Gamecocks for anybody who wonders. Lots of noises in the back there. After college, I moved to Washington, D.C. to serve in the White House as a scheduler to President Trump. After the Trump administration came to an end, I moved back to South Carolina to go to law school at the University of South Carolina. So a double Gamecock, that's why I had to throw that in there. After law school, I moved back to Greenville, where I now practice corporate and economic development law here in the city that I love. And so why should you choose me, right? Like, there's a lot of great candidates. There's a lot of people on this list. I think for me, there's 2 important points. When I attended the Greenville Area Economic Development meeting on April 2nd, I was able to listen and sit in and see, what the board is discussing, what's important to the board. And I think 2 things sort of stuck out to me at that point. The first thing was people were asking, why are young people moving to Greenville, South Carolina? And there was this big discussion about, what can make Greenville competitive for young people, young professionals coming out of schools, coming out of college. What makes them come to Greenville, South Carolina? And so there's this big discussion, and I was thinking to myself, I am a young professional who just, made this decision, and I would love to give my input as to why I think Greenville is a great place to live, and why I think Greenville is a great place to, start a family and go to work. So I think I have an interesting perspective that maybe the other members of the board might not have, and I look forward to sort of presenting that opportunity, and sort of that perspective to the board. The last thing I think is important to note is I am an economic development attorney. I represent companies who are moving to South Carolina in negotiating fee in lieu of tax agreements, in negotiating job development credit agreements. And I think that perspective is really important. So the second thing that we discussed at the meeting and sort of was a point of contention was, what does the community think about economic development? Why does the community, have positive opinions of it, and why does the community have negative opinions of it? And I think a lot of that comes down to education. The community is not always educated on, what is a fee in lieu of tax agreement? What is a jobs development credit? Why should we be having companies come to Greenville, South Carolina? Why do we give them these sort of incentives? So I think it's really important that my experience, again, with my young background, I think both of those sort of let me give a unique perspective as to why I could be a good member of this board. So I appreciate your time. Really appreciate your time, and let me know if you have any questions.
All right. Any questions?
I did have one.
Sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Murray.
Should have my glasses on.
Yeah,
Mr.
no
Mr.
problem.
Murray, thank you. First of all, there's a lot of great applicants here that's been all day like that.
That's right.
I guess my question is, if you're an economic development attorney and you would be put on this board,
Mm-hmm.
would you be foreclosing the firm out from any business here? Or?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it would just foreclose myself out from working on any deals that we are have in Greenville, South Carolina. So my firm will represent companies that are moving to South Carolina as a whole. So if that's something that's going to happen in Greenville, then we would be, we could push ourselves out of that. If that's something that's coming to South Carolina, obviously that wouldn't preclude that. Oftentimes we're negotiating with the South Carolina Department of Commerce. So that's sort of our contact point. And this position, this board, has really no control over the South Carolina Department of Commerce. But that's a great question. Yeah, appreciate your guys' time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll move on to the next, which is Mr. Charles Pitsker. Did I say that? Peisker? Pizor. I said that. I knew I was going to mess one up at some point. So. Yeah, I did.
Good afternoon,
But
Mr.
welcome.
Chairman and council members. I would just like to add a little color to my application. I currently serve on the GADC board, and I've never missed a board meeting in my tenure. And I want to talk a little bit about willingness to serve regarding representing GADC. GADC is just not coming to the board meetings every month. It's also representing GADC at events. And what I mean by events, that would be like the Furman Innovation Lab opening. That would be headquarters openings or warehouse distribution center openings. It's also attending the Michelin Sustainability Conference. Recently, Max, our chairman, couldn't make it as a judge at the Greer Boot Camp platform for startups, and he asked me to take his place. So serving on the board is just not coming to a meeting and, discussing things. It's also getting active in the role of a board member. In addition, assisted staff in finding resources and tools to better their skills, which in turn will provide overall performance for the organization. It's also willing to chair a committee or serve in an officer position when asked. As far as my experience, I came onto the board when the strategic plan was just finishing up and was able to provide input into the website in updating the website, because the website is where you have site selection firms. That's their first point of contact with GADC. So we made it more user-friendly, as well as downloading information and accessing that information quickly. Also getting GADC to use social media more, which we were lacking. That was in a strategic plan, and now we're pushing the organization to use LinkedIn more to make announcements and things. I worked with the board, the GADC board, to expand the research staff, as well as I was involved in the interview process for our new CEO, Max. And at the board meeting, we were getting information on the number of contacts or inquiries by month. And that's nice information, but it's in accordance with our strategic plan, we need to know what firms are actually reporting. So I asked the staff to give us more detailed information regarding the inquiries by section, or, by sectors, industry sectors, that's what I meant to say. Also, recently, I thought about why aren't companies selecting Greenville County? So I went back to the staff and said, we need this on a quarterly basis as well. What type of information, why aren't these companies, oh boy. I have some, but anyway, I just ask that you help me guide GADC in bringing jobs to Greenville County and working with the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pizzo. All right, next up, we have Mr. Daniel Rumfeld. Welcome, sir.
Thanks, guys. Most of y'all probably already know me, so I'll spare you the personal and the willingness to serve, but I kind of just want to bring attention to my interest in Greenville Area Development Corporation. Currently, Greenville County is one of the highest GDPs in the country, and that's thanks to the past administrations and the current council, and as well as the current GADC. But however, this has not led to higher wages. Unfortunately, our area is declining on wages. And I feel like that this is an issue with the broad attraction of businesses to Greenville County. I feel like if we narrow the attraction down to what works in the upstate with manufacturing, automation, engineering, tech, and even skilled jobs across the country to come to Greenville. We have the workforce, we just don't have the infrastructure. Greenville was manufacturing 10.5% of our taxes. And unfortunately, we have to use FELOs to attract those industries. In the past, many look at FELOs as a negative because of poor written, less clawbacks in their contracts. But it's important, and I want to work with the next panel, if I'm selected, to kind of change a perception of FELOs to the general public and why our current clawbacks protect the citizens' taxpayer dollars as well as the investments in Greenville County. And finally, personally, I kind of want my kids to stay in Greenville County. I want them to be able to afford their own house, for their way of life here. And I don't want them moving to the next state that has an economic boom. I want South Carolina to learn to increase its wages and attract the industry that works here in Greenville. And again, I want to mention that the last meeting we had, we wanted to start a panel to change the perception of FELOs, and I'd love to help out if I'm selected. But thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. All right, and just to run this by the clerk real quick, the next one, I didn't get a chance to make this announcement, but I had two picks, chairman choices, and the next one was one of those, so we just pass by that person and go to the next. Okay. So the next will be Mr. Rick Schroeder. All right. And then last on our list for this one, we have Mr. Jack Stott. Don't believe
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Stott sent you guys an email, or there may be something at your desk. He submitted. He is out of town and could not attend.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you. Now, and just to clarify on this before we all vote, there are 5 vacancies minus the 2 chairman's choices, or is it 3?
Mr. Chairman, there are 5 vacancies.
Okay.
That you guys need to fill this evening.
Perfect. That's all I needed to know. Excellent. Thank you. All right, we will move along to the next. And if this is okay, let me go ahead and ask my colleagues if they wouldn't mind, but Ms. Seaman asked me to do this earlier, and it completely slipped my mind just because of rushing in, but I know we have some people in the crowd that are a part of the board that would be appointments by acclamation, so if my colleagues are okay with that, can we go through those, and then we'll finish up with the last two where we have multiple people. All right, so we will start with the Buxton Special Tax District Commission. This is District 19, so I believe I just give those names to the clerk. And so I will make those appointments, Mr. Ken McIntyre and Ms. Savannah Porter. And we'll move to item B.
Sure. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to appoint Alexander Roy to fill the spot for the Chanticleer Community Commission.
All right. Then we'll move to item C.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move to appoint Jessica Saravia.
Thank you. And then item D.
I'd move to appoint Shannon Spurrier, District 20, for Lakeside Special Tax District.
All right, thank you. And then we'll make a motion on all these together. Will we do that, or we have to even? Okay. All right, all in favor, or well, I'll take a motion.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Make a motion to approve all of those who were just appointed by their county council representative to be elected by acclamation. That was very
Perfect.
not great. Sorry.
I can't wait to read the minutes. That's great. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations to those appointees. All right. Now we will go back up to the top and we'll go to item F, which is Greenville County Historic and Natural Resources Trust. We have 6 vacancies. The first up is Molly Kaminsky. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. As you said, my name is Molly Kaminsky, and I live in County Council District 20 in the city of Greer. I decided to apply to be on the board of the trust after learning about all the great work they're doing and that there was a vacancy in my district, and after attending a board meeting earlier this year. My interest in serving on the board of the trust stems from 3 primary motivations. First, as a resident of Greenville County for over 25 years, I personally have greatly benefited from Greenville's green and protected spaces as a child and now as an adult. Also, my dog benefits a lot as well. She's very active. Through serving on this board, I hope to preserve and provide access to even more spaces where people of all ages can enjoy the outdoors and learn about Greenville County's history, whether they're from here or whether they just moved here. Secondly, I believe that I can contribute to the board of the trust because of my background in urban planning and experience working for local government. I have a master's degree in city and regional planning from Clemson University, and I interned for the city of Greer while a grad student, and then I worked for the city of Charlotte as a GIS and community planner. My knowledge of local government and urban planning and my technical expertise in GIS will be an asset to the board. Lastly, I would like to serve on the board of the trust because I believe in the importance of public service and a government that works for the good of all her residents. I would like to do my part in serving my community in this way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, next up we have William McCauley. Welcome.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
My name's Will McCauley. I'd like to ask Molly to come do my speech. There's a lot of pedigree in the room, and I'm not one of them, but I am from Greenville all my life, and born and raised, blessed to work with the company, Creative Builders Incorporated, so we do a lot of construction in the area, and I think it gives me a unique opportunity to sit on a historic land trust. So when we're in the business to build and construct, we also need to properly protect natural resources. And so with Carlton's leadership and Benton, your district is what I represent, District 19, and I hope I can do that for you proudly. Just want to tell you thank you and appreciate what you guys do. Grateful for it.
Thank you very much. All right. Next up, we have James O'Connor. How you doing?
Hello, I'm Jim O'Connor, and I'm a resident of District 17. So we've talked a lot about quality of life, and there are certainly a lot of facets to it. My focus is green spaces. So I'm here to apply to serve on the Greenville County Historic and Natural Resources Trust Board, because I think preserving our park and natural areas is very important to our quality of life. I grew up roaming the woods of Tennessee. I spent a lot of time in the Boy Scouts, and I've done the same here in Greenville County. Spent a lot of time in the natural areas. I was living in Atlanta, and I met a woman from Greenville, got married. So she wanted to come back here and raise our family in Greenville County. This was 30 years ago. And she wanted to look after her elderly parents, and that's what's got me to Greenville County. So been here for 30 years, raised my 3 children here, and want to give back to the community. So I'm an engineer, I'm a management and statistics professor, and the associate dean of the business college at USC Upstate. And I've also served for 5 years on the Roper Mountain Science Center board. So I've got experience in boards, and I've got experience on how to get work done efficiently. And I've attended the last 3 board meetings of this Natural and Historic Resources Board, and I was impressed by how effective they were and how efficient they were. And I know that for every dollar Greenville County Council is allocated to this board, they've preserved almost $5 worth of important property. And I would like to be honored with the appointment to help with this work, because I think it's very important to preserve the green spaces for our current generations and our future generations. And if you got to set it aside now, or it's going to be unavailable for our kids and grandkids. So it's very important work, and I'd like to help with that. All right, thanks.
Thank you very much. All right, next up, we have, that was James O'Connor. Yeah, Mr. Stephen Parks.
I think he's at his dental practice right now, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Oh, if I'd have looked at my other notes, I would have seen could not attend. Thank you very much. All right, next we have Mr. David Snodgrass. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Council. Thank you for allowing me to be here. My name is David Snodgrass. My wife, Casey, is a teacher at Greenville County Schools, and 2 kids that are students at Greenville County Public Schools, and I'm a pastor in the community, and not a stranger to local government. Moved here into the upstate about 3 years ago, from Camden, where I was a member of Kershaw County Council, and it was there that I was exposed to projects, particularly with the South Carolina Sesquicentennial Commission, in which we brought the Revolutionary War Historical Museum to Camden. So familiar with the work of preservation and history, and also believe that the greatest, the best way that we can impact our community is here in the local government. And so I appreciate y'all's service, because this local government is the closest to the people. And I thank you for your work there, and look forward to working with this commission if given the opportunity, because I feel like we are called to be stewards of our resources, and land is the one thing that they're not making any more of. And I think it's interesting that we are having these interviews just after the development committee, so we have to juxtapose that, right, with economic development, but also with how are we continuing to be a good steward of this resources that God has given us. Again, thank you for your time. Would be honored to serve if that is what you will, and will yield for any questions you may have.
Thank you very much. All right. Last one in this group, we have Ms. Catherine Taylor. Welcome, Ms. Taylor.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for hearing us today. I'm Kathy Taylor. I've devoted my entire career to sharing the wonders of nature, you could say, as the education curator for the Greenville Zoo, as an adjunct instructor at Roper Mountain Science Center, and for the last 22 years, I've been a park ranger at Paris Mountain State Park. And I mainly, I'm the park historian and the park naturalist, but I mainly see students, 5th graders and 2nd graders from all over Greenville County. And the 5th graders, they assess the water quality and study ecosystems as ecologists for the day. The 2nd graders, they study biodiversity as scientists for the day. And I thoroughly enjoy what I've been doing. I'm going to be retiring this summer, though. And at this time, I can't imagine anything more exciting than being part of helping to preserve parts of Greenville County, of setting aside natural and historic places because we know Greenville's growing, and once places are gone, we can't really get them back, and wanted to be part of that process. I feel comfortable with assessing areas in terms of their role in an ecosystem and looking at natural area, also water quality, but looking at natural or at historic sites in terms of their significance. Study a lot of the history of Greenville, mostly with the Civilian Conservation Corps and the water supply for the park, and I'm comfortable with assessing this historic significance of a place. So I've, this means a lot to me to be part of this. And we all know, like I say, Greenville is growing, and just wanted to be part of this community in the future and helped make it the place that we all have probably drew us here in the first place. At the park, I see people all the time that are moving to Greenville because of the natural resources of the area, the appeal of it all. And I wanted to keep all of that intact or help add to that for the sake of Greenville. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? I don't have a question, but I want to make I just want to make a comment. You can get, but I knew you looked and sounded familiar, and my son, I came with my son to an event at the park.
Yeah.
And that trip alone led him down this rabbit hole to where he is much smarter than I am already. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, having 6 applicants and 6 vacancies, I move to approve all 6 applicants to the Greenville County Historic and Natural Resources Trust.
Thank you very much. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Congratulations.
Mr. Chairman, she's handing out ballots as a tiebreaker for GADC. The ones that are highlighted are the ones you vote from. You need 2.
Okay. Everybody understand?
Can repeat that, please?
She's handing out new ballots for a tiebreaker on the GADC. There are 4 names highlighted. Those are the 4 you're choosing from, so you need to select 2.
2. Thank you.
We will continue on with our final group of the evening. We have 1 vacancy for Greenville Technical College Area Commission, and we'll start with Megan Barp. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Good to see you all. I believe deeply in the mission of Greenville Tech and its critical role building a thriving community. As a longtime nonprofit leader and as the current president and CEO of United Way of Greenville County, I've seen firsthand how Greenville Tech makes an impact and opens doors of opportunity, especially for working adults, first-generation college students, and those seeking to gain credentials in high-demand industries. Serving on the area commission would allow me to contribute my experience in community leadership and cross-sector collaboration to help further the college's success. I care deeply about access to education, workforce development, and helping people move from surviving to thriving. And I believe Greenville Tech is one of the most effective tools we have in Greenville County to get that done. Why should you choose me for this role? I have deep expertise in community collaboration. I believe that nothing happens with one organization, and I believe that Greenville's cross-sector efforts to improve education, workforce readiness, housing, and transportation are critical. I bring a systems-level view, but I also know how to get things done by connecting the dots between Greenville Tech and broader community goals. I bring leadership in my role of United Way. We bring together corporate partners, civic leaders, nonprofit leaders, and people in our community who make an impact every single day, and I would bring that to Greenville Tech. And then I have expertise in both governance and in strategy. I've had the opportunity of working with numerous boards in our community and leaders to make a difference where it matters most. At the end of the day, I believe that Greenville Tech plays a vital role in shaping the workforce of not just right now, but the future in our community. They are an incredible economic mobility engine. The college serves students who may not have an opportunity otherwise to access quality education, and it equips them with the skills to thrive in our region's evolving economy. I've had the pleasure of working with both President Keith Miller in his current role, and I've also had the pleasure of working with President-elect Dr. Larry Miller as well. Both have served in partnership at United Way on a variety of different boards and advisory committees, and I've had the pleasure of working with them on a variety of advisory boards and committees as well. And I believe I have that expertise and experience to really, at the end of the day, impact students, which is what's really important to Greenville Tech, of course, and impacting citizens, which is very important to United Way. Thank you for your consideration. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Next up, we have Miss Mary Gentry. Hello.
Good afternoon. I'm Mary Gentry, and thank you for the opportunity to serve. Community service and education are big parts of my family. My dad was the mayor of my hometown, and there is a scholarship at the Ohio State University Newark and Central Ohio Technical College campus in his honor. It's given to students who have a strong record of community service. Serving on the Greenville Technical College Area Commission feels like a special fit for me. I am passionate about contributing to the college's mission of providing affordable, quality education and transforming lives for families and communities. My husband and I moved to Greenville County 34 years ago and raised 3 children here. It's home. I care deeply about Greenville and serving the Greenville community. Since 2011, I've worked as a finance executive at ScanSource, a Fortune 1000 company and technology distributor. ScanSource is a homegrown company, founded and headquartered in Greenville with 2,300 employees, including 550 in Greenville. As a business leader, I see the importance of a strong technical college system for supporting local employers. I'm really excited about the experience that I would bring to the commission and how well aligned it is for governance and fiduciary responsibilities. I have experience in finance, treasury, investor relations, including insights into capital allocation. I am a certified public accountant, taught accounting as an adjunct professor at USC Upstate, and spent the early days of my career as an auditor at a Big Four accounting firm. I have a deep history of community board service and thrive in environments built on collaboration, transparency, and trust. For multiple nonprofit boards, I've served as Finance Committee Chair and Treasurer. I'm enthusiastic about this opportunity to serve on the Commission and advance the college's mission. Thank you for your consideration, and I would be honored by your support.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Next up, we have William Heath. Welcome, sir.
Hi. I go by Alan, so if you say William, I may not know who you're talking to.
Noted.
I've been a resident of Greenville County, southern Greenville County, for 59 years now. I am amazed at the quality of people today, as we're kind of the last group, but it's been fascinating to me to hear and see the quality of people. I'm kind of proud to be a Greenvillian. Thank y'all for y'all service. What I bring to the table for Greenville Tech, and the reason that I applied, is I am a product of vocational and technical education. I've spent 47 years in the HVAC industry. I've made a good living at it. As I watch Greenville grow, I've had the opportunity to, in my role at Train Commercial, I've been in and out of just about every industrial and commercial facility in Greenville County as they've moved in as the startup person for equipment, meeting with the C-level suites as far as selling contracts or making sure their buildings were taken care of. My passion, besides doing the things that I do in HVAC, is adult education. Part of what I have done, with Greenville Tech, way back into the 80s, is I have volunteered as a part-time instructor there, volunteered as a lab assistant. I was asked by Tom Shiflett to put together a commercial air conditioning semester class. So I wrote that from scratch and taught it. Again, seeing Greenville grow, knowing what industry has, and I'm very impressed with the other candidates for this role. I think y'all will have a good choice. And I think what I bring is more of a boots on the ground approach. Being there, being an instructor, I also served on the advisory board for HVAC for a time, for a number of years. So what I would bring to the table, I think that's different, is I would bring a fresh perspective as far as what the educators are facing today, what the classroom is like today. And I really think that we could be every board has to be balanced. And certainly y'all know the current board and y'all know the people on it. And so if somebody that has boots on the ground would be a good fit for the board, I'd be perfectly willing to serve. I appreciate your time today, and it's been a good education for me. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Any questions?
Appreciate it. All right. So while we are finishing up the votes for that, I will go ahead and announce the 5 vacancy spots for the GADC. And I'll go ahead and say that these were very, very close. But we have Spencer Brownell, Jay Handler, got the parentheses right that time, John T. Long III, Timothy Morgan, and John Pizer. So congratulations to those who were nominated, and if not, we hope that you'll consider it again, because we had a huge pool of people and a lot of people that were qualified. So this one was a tough one. Oh, and just to make sure I acknowledge, Mr. McGahee is here and he's watching. He just wasn't joining us by Zoom. I guess he got on the live stream, so we'll make sure we had that noted as well. I meant Charles. I got his first name wrong this time. I said James for some reason, I believe, but I said Charles now. So Charles Pizer. Got your last name wrong the first time, right this time. You're good either way. I just messed up. Yeah. Thank you.
I was confused. I was like,
No, you're good to go.
Point of information, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Under the new rules of council, I love Kurt, but don't we have to be able to see him? The clerk has to certify that she saw him. He didn't vote?
Did, Madam Clerk, did he vote at all?
He did submit names for GADC and HRT.
Well, I would just say that I think also in the rules, and I can't remember specifically, but it does give me discretion. So with him being in another country, as long as everybody, my colleagues are in favor, I would accept his votes. Anybody in opposition to that? You good with that, Dr. Shaw?
I'm just trying to stay with the rules.
Sure,
But
absolutely.
if it's chairman's discretion, yeah, then we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then we're just waiting on one other. All right, we have our totals in for the Greenville Technical College Area Commission, and the selection for this go-around will be Miss Megan Bart. So congratulations, and like I said with everybody else, if you, I would encourage you to apply again. We've had a lot of good applicants this go-around, a lot more than I've seen overall in some of these, so we appreciate the citizens getting involved in this way, so please do that again. Having said that, I think we're getting ready to head to another meeting, so I will entertain a motion.
Move to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. You guys have a good evening.